What's up, guys? Here we are live, Monster Motivator TV. We are here in downtown or Old Town Marietta. What do they call it?
Old Town Marietta.
Old Town Marietta. I want to make sure I get that right. We are here at Perfect Form with my boy Jason, personal trainer for 25 years. And he's going to share a lot of insight on the personal training world, on the health world. And I always say, you know, we never want to use that four-letter word, diet, right?
No.
It's always about lifestyle. We don't like that four-letter word, but you're really going to get to know Jason, where he came from, where he's at now, and where he's looking to go. You guys know that's my MO, because you want to get to know the person, and then everything else follows. And he's got an awesome story. We were talking before we came live, and we have a lot of our stories kind of are a little bit parallel with the motorcycles and the accidents and the awakenings, because we kind of we might be hard learners. So sometimes life has to figure that out for us. So that being said, I want Jason to introduce himself, and then we'll take it from there. Jason.
Guys, how you doing? My name is Jason Cruz, personal trainer for 25 years. I'm my major certification is from the National Academy of Sports Medicine. Had that since, oh God, who knows, 1998. Yeah, love what I do. I have my own little shop. I've been working with people, changing and saving lives in every community that I've ever been in. It's just a great opportunity to watch people just really evolve and get to their fitness goals.
So where did it all start? I mean, because we have a lot of entrepreneurs out there. We also have people that want to become entrepreneurs. They want to figure out how to pull that trigger. And then there's going to be people that are struggling, or how do we take it to another level? So I want to share a lot of your wisdom, because you've been an entrepreneur for how long?
Oh gosh, 15, 16 years.
Okay, there's a ton of wisdom.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of golden nuggets in there that we want to pull out. But where did it all start? Have you been an athlete your whole life?
You know what? I've always worked out. I was always a small person growing up, and it started in high school. I was just a small guy. I weighed about 110 pounds, and everyone just I was like the last person to get picked, but I was always the first one on the football field.
Right.
But it was just, I got tired of being small.
Okay.
And so I picked up some weights, I think my freshman year, and I put on like 15 pounds. And I was just a skinny guy.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden I'm getting all these bumps and stuff on my body. I'm like, I like this. It feels good to be strong.
Let me ask you this. Let's touch on this, right?
Yeah.
Because there's people out there with kids that might have low self-esteem, or they don't feel worthy, or they are being picked last, and it might really affect them. And at the end of the day, you don't have to be where you're at. Right. And that's what you figured out early on.
Exactly.
How did that help you with your mindset and your self-image when you started working out?
Starting working out, I didn't really know that. I was just picking up some weights. I actually had that old school DP weight set with the plastic and size and whatnot. But it's as my body started to get stronger and it started to transform, there's this self-confidence of just completion, if you will. Like I actually accomplished something. And that was really huge for me. That was a turning point. It wasn't the physical aspect of looking bigger and being more athletic. It was like I actually did something myself, put effort into it, and look at the results I yielded.
Interesting.
And that was huge.
Interesting. See, I thought it was going to go the other way. See, I thought it was going to be, hey, I feel bigger, I feel stronger. But really what he's talking about is his self-image changed and grew because of the accomplishment. And here's what I want to touch on too, is people out there saying, how do I do this? What do I do? When's a perfect time? There is no perfect time, right? If there is a perfect time, it's now.
Absolutely.
So back then, you still had the wherewithal to say, I just need to do this, right? And your why was big enough because you wanted to get bigger. You wanted to get stronger. But you didn't realize the byproduct was the accomplishment.
Yes.
So now take us from there. How much did that help you? Where'd you go from there?
You know what? From there, went into sports, went to college, got my degree in kinesiology, and I just started pursuing bodybuilding. Life happens. I got married, got divorced, and I didn't actually start bodybuilding until I got divorced because I had kids, and they were so young at the time. It was like I couldn't enter something. It takes everything, guys. It's so selfish, right? It's all about you, and if you can do it with a family, God bless you. But for me, it was like,
no, it's the truth.
No, but I had a good friend look at me and goes, "You should do this." And from that point on, he started honing me in on the aesthetic side. I was always on balance, coordination. A lot of core training was my forte back then. And when I started to learn how to do aesthetics, it was a whole different animal. Okay. Even though working out, just picking up weights, there's ways you can do it to definitely yield your results what you want. And that's where the whole term comes from. You get what you train for. So if you want to train for speed, agility, balance, you train that way. If you want want to train to get big, you know, aesthetically, that's what you train for. And so I was really changing up my game at this time. And in 2009, I entered my first bodybuilding contest.
Okay.
And I took the overall in that.
Okay.
You know, I was 39 at the time, so it was a really huge thing.
Yeah, I mean there's a huge accomplishment. But to get you there, let's go back a little bit. Where after high school, right? You kept training, healthy lifestyle in your world, right? You've really never left that world, have you?
Never left it. Once I picked up weights, I stayed with it. It was something I knew I was in control of the whole time.
Okay.
And you know, if I was going to make my gains, it was going to be on me. If I wasn't going to make my gains, it was going to be on me. Either way, I would yield the result of my efforts. Whether I be successful or unsuccessful, it's still going to be my fault. I just liked how it made me feel on the confidence side. I like knowing that when I crushed my goals and I set myself up to do like, at the time I was like trying to bench press 225 30 times. I mean, no one really thinks about doing that, but back then it was like, how much can you do? Right. And so I set a goal for that. Well, I figured if I can do that 30 times, I can squat it 30 times. I can do this. And I was just setting goals, and as my body transformed, I was like, gosh, I really like how this looks. I really feel good in my clothes. And then all of a sudden you start noticing people paying attention to you.
Yes.
You know, and it was good. So it was a really nice confidence builder, not an ego builder, but a confidence builder. And I want to stress that because when you get an ego, then you're that other guy. And I don't want that. So, but the confidence was, you know, if I can accomplish this with my body, I can take this onto my education. I can take this onto my nutrition, and I can really start digesting and putting that effort in.
That overall.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch on that. You know, I always say there's a difference between cocky and confidence. Cocky comes from the outside, and it's really unsure. It's a lot of fear.
Right.
Confidence comes from the inside, knowing, and that's it's actually courageous. Right. So I love to talk about that because I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people get it confused. Right. Cocky is really just fear.
Yeah.
You know,
it is.
The peacock.
Right.
Right.
It's just a lack of understanding what you're doing. It's like the guy who always does biceps in the gym but never touches his legs.
Right. You know, Jesse the Body Ventura said, we're going to sue his legs for non-support.
That's right.
So, you know, I love that. I love that statement. So now, when did you start because it's been such a big part of your life, you just said, you know what, let me do this full time and get paid for it?
Yeah. About it's funny, the whole way I started was a gentleman by the name of Shelton Sanders. And I love telling this story because it's what got me into personal training.
Was he a bodybuilder?
No, he was just some guy he had a stroke. And his left leg had like a tube sock all the way up to here. Okay. And it was all cut on the inside. And this is when you learn the difference of cocky.
Yeah,
confidence. And confidence. So I'm this little meathead kid in the gym, and I'm working out, and this guy's I'll never forget this, he was on the bicep machine. And he gets off, and his leg brushed against the pad, and left a little blood or pus on there, and I just started yelling at him, you idiot, and I probably said some not nice things at the time. And the guy looked at me with all the peace in his heart, he goes, you know what, I'm sorry, young man. I got a stroke about 4 years ago, and all my wife left me with was an old Jeep CJ5, and it's rusted. So every time I pull my dead leg in there, I get it cut. All this time I've seen this guy in the gym, I already pre-assumed who the hell this guy was, and that was the worst thing I could have ever done. So not only did I learn a life lesson about being humble and you know, really caring about the people you come in contact with, and really trying not to judge others because you never know their backstory, I also learned a lesson in humility, and that was huge for me. I mean,
how old were you?
Oh, geez, I was 21 at that time.
Life, man.
Yeah, and talk about being convicted, guys. If you never had a life-changing moment that convicts you right on sight to change the direction where you go in your fitness career, this was mine. And so I took it upon myself to help him and work out and befriend him. And I really did. And it was nice because we built this relationship. I found out he was divorced after he had this terrible stroke. Wife took him for everything. And he was a marathon runner. And his one dream was to be go one more marathon. And you know, it's ironic. I'm at the age he was then talking to me. So it came to pass that it was a November 22nd, 1995.
That's an impact.
Yes. We were on the treadmill at 2.3 miles an hour, and he got both his feet off the ground, pushing. Wow. And I was like, you ever saw two grown men cry just over an accomplishment?
Yeah.
You know, understanding where I came from, like, I appreciate the accomplishment. I appreciate moving forward. This man just accomplished something he thought he could never do in his life. That was an empowering point for me, knowing that I had an impact on his life directly, and I gave him something back that he never thought he could have again.
Wow. Wow.
And that was huge.
And then that started your
Career.
career.
That started my career.
Wow.
Just helping
Isn't that-
others. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Like, you come into this all cocky and this, you know, I'm running this show.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden life goes, no, you're not. And then, but what was great is you had the character, right? It was just hidden.
Yeah.
That you could say, oh man, let me back up here a second, right? Let me learn from this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the biggest lesson here. He was able to learn from it, right?
Right.
And now it gave you a career that you just told me before we went on live, you've never worked a day in your life.
No, I've been doing this for so long. I can have the best of days or worst of days, but I've never worked a day in my life knowing I'm in here helping others just help themselves. It's huge.
Yeah. Now, where are you originally from?
San Diego.
San Diego. Okay. How long have you been up in Marietta?
Been in Marietta since '09, so
Okay.
7 years now.
Okay. So now somebody wants to, you know, I always say whether it's personal, physical, professional, it's always the same recipe, just different ingredients, right? So whether somebody wants to get into shape, wants to compete on stage, wants to start their own business, wants to move up in their company, or wants to be a better parent, give me some advice, give me some golden nuggets that you can share of your 25 years of being an entrepreneur, really.
You know what?
And a dad, and a father.
It's you know, like this is what happened to me. If you're gonna do it, but do it and fail so you know how to do it better the next time. Then just sit there and think about it, and then time passes, and then you become I should do this to I should have done this. That's the worst thing you could ever
Regret.
Yeah, the regret is terrible. So if you're making your mind up to do it, and give 100% to what you want to have happen. So if you want to open up your business, or if you want to change your life, if you want to get in shape, you want to get faster, do a bodybuilding contest, do it. Say you're going to do it now, apply yourself, and don't look back. If you make mistakes, that's okay. You know, it's ready, fire, aim. That's the way you have to do it. Just get after it, go. You know, adjust your sights on the way to your goal. That's how you make it happen.
Okay, and I'm sure you're gonna. I know the answer to this, but from day one to halfway through to where you are now in business, how much has your business plan changed? I mean, you can't have the perfect business plan from day one.
Oh no,
Constant.
no, it changes. It evolves as you do, guys. I mean, demographics change, people change. You know, popularity of things changes.
Business
Yeah,
changes.
business changes. It's just everything just moves, so you have to move with it. You have to be in the moment. So always keep your ear to the ground. Always know what's going on, and just keep grinding forward.
Now, let me ask you this: How did your business at all get affected during the I call it the depression, you can call it whatever they call it. It was 2007 to 2010 was rough.
That was
rough.
rough.
If you buy into it.
Yeah.
You know, I bought Nutrition Zone in Vista, November 16th, there's an impact. 2008, they were a struggling store. I knew nobody out here. I came out from New Jersey, right? Knew nobody, and everyone in my inner circle, they wanted to put me in a straitjacket. They go, "You're going to do what? A retail store? You know nobody in this economy?" I said, "Yeah, but I see things that they're not doing. I think I might be able to do." Blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
It worked out. But what kind of changes would you have to implement, or if at all, to make it and thrive through that time?
You know, the biggest thing I did was customer service. You know,
Okay. All right.
For me at that time was customer service. Before that, it was just easy. Everybody wanted to get in shape. They refund their house. They got extra cash.
Yeah.
That was easy. After that, it was like everyone's pinching pennies. So, customer service, showing value, and staying true to your word. If you're going to do something, say you're going to do it, and follow through. Because everybody's quick to, put in my position, put fitness or nutrition on the back burner just to get by.
Right.
So, but once you bring that value and you show them what you need,
Right. Right.
Perfect.
It
helped me through. It helped me through those 2 tough years.
But it made you grow.
Oh yeah.
Right? It made you grow as a business person, right? And you could turn around and you could have just as easy said, you know what, I got to do something else because of the economy.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to make it because of the economy, right? Or let me stop doing this because of what they're telling me.
Oh, yeah.
No, you figured out, how do I make this better? Right? How do I enhance what we're doing? And I did the same thing with Nutrition Zone because at the end of the day, I told all my guys, I said, the only thing that separates us from the internet, right, or GNC, or some of these bigger names, is this, right? Writing everything down on top of their protein, on top of their supplements, giving out meal plans, right? Giving out so much value that they almost you almost guilt them into doing business with you because you're giving them so much value. Let's talk about how important. Now let's get a little bit more into your business. How important is an overall lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, and eating? You know, because in our world, right, the bodybuilding world, you build your abs in the kitchen.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah, you always build your abs in the kitchen. I don't even crunches.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, guys, it's hand in hand. I mean, you're not going to get the body you want, you know, coming in eating McDonald's all day. It's just not going to happen. You got to have a solid foundation of nutrition. If you guys don't do that, it doesn't matter how hard you push your weight, you're not going to break to the next plateau or get the gains you're looking for because you don't have the fuel to get you to that next level. And so, what I like to talk about is always metabolism. If you're not eating the right kind of food, your metabolism is not going to kick in. You're not going to
shut. It shuts down.
You're not going to get the results.
And then as we age, it gets worse and worse and worse. Well, let me ask you this. So do you train just adults? Do you train kids? What's your scale?
Okay, my scale is from 18 to 80 plus. I do train kids. It's on a very small scale, but it's, you know, anything adults I can really do. Kids, I have a very specific opinion about proper form because posture, we're in that computer age now where kids are on PlayStation, computers, backpacks. So all I want to do is work on postural deviances and balance and coordination because that's huge for children these days and it gives them everything they need at that point. But for adults, you know, it's always what they call synergistic dominance, balancing out the body, making sure we're getting the right muscles to work at the right time.
Say that again. What's it called?
Synergistic dominance. What that basically means is when, let's say, the secondary muscle group takes over as the primary mover, and that's prominent in a lot of people these days. So, like when people squat, for example, if I turn right here and I squat and I keep my back flat, and I squat up, that's great because I know I'm using my hips and my quads. But what people tend to do is that they'll squat and they'll bend their back. Yeah, and now there's the lower back, you know, hamstring push.
Yeah.
You know, so that develops problems because your body starts to break down over time, and, you know, with improper form.
And it's a compromised position.
Oh, yeah.
With weight on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Let's I want to talk about. Let's share some real success stories with some of your people. Meaning not just physical goals, right? Not just physical things, but their self-image, their confidence. Give us some. You don't have to give names if you don't have to. But
you know what? I do. I have a girl that used to come from Chino Hills, and she was in a wheelchair, and she was in the paraplegic tennis club, and she just, I mean, even though she was good at her sport, her self-image of how she looked and how she viewed herself was skewed because, you know, obviously there was a discrepancy of how she saw herself. But what the problem was, she didn't see her inner beauty, and so what I mean by that is that she didn't know that she could do anything else but play tennis. It was a natural talent. This is what the parents put her through. She was 19.
that's all she knew.
Yeah, that's all she knew.
Yeah.
But when we started working out, she discovered she could do a lot more than just roll around in a chair. She realized she could now do pull-ups. She could use dips. She could actually start manipulating her body to get other places that she couldn't normally go or found super challenging.
Yeah.
You know, and in just 4 short months, I'm looking at a different person who was, you know, an able body.
Right.
That just so happened to be in a wheelchair. It was awesome.
What did you notice in her personality? What did you notice in her mindset?
You know what, her mindset? You know, confidence always comes back because now she sees opportunities. I can do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it yet, but I can do it.
Right.
You know, that can happen. Personality. You know, you start seeing more colors of her personality come out. They're you know, they're not just reserved.
Right. They don't feel so vulnerable.
No, they're just more colorful. They're more exact in how they speak. You know, they see the light coming out of their eyes.
Okay.
And it's really awesome.
Now, how about that 18-year-old kid, right? That girl or boy that comes in and happen to nutrition zone all the time. They come in with their head down, and you know, because you're trying to figure it all out at that time. Hormones are going crazy, and if you weren't that popular kid, right? Your self-esteem, your self-image is in the gutter.
Right.
So, have you seen some success stories with that?
Absolutely.
Because that's what
with the kids, it's really huge. It's all about education, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you can paint the prettiest picture in the world, but if they don't buy into it,
no, you're done.
You're done.
At that age, you're done.
So all they want to know is, you know, does it work and is it for me? And if you can answer those 2 things, then they're like, okay, cool. Then they start seeing it for themselves so they can apply it. So when I start explaining to them, giving them the education they need about, you know, exercise, they can start saying, hey, I can do that to get bigger arms, or I can do this to get better.
Yeah.
You know, I want to make first string on the football team. You know, I just want to look better in my shirts. You know, things like that. I mean, you know, just for aesthetics alone, looking better in the clothes you wear, no matter where it's a T-shirt or a business suit.
We're human.
Man,
We're human.
feeling good about what you wear when you leave the house sets the stage for the whole day.
See, what I noticed about kids, I'd have parents come in and be like, well, my kid's going to play football and he needs to bulk up. Or my daughter's playing tennis and she needs to get in better shape, which I need her to take. What supplements do you recommend? And the parents would always say the same thing. I'm going to bring them in or bring her in, but, they don't listen to me. I said, no, bring them in. And all of a sudden, I come from around the counter and I just start talking to them, and it's real.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll tell them, I can give you the best meal plan, the best supplements, a great workout for you, but if you're not going to do it, what good is it? So if you're wasting my time, don't come back. And when you're real, they get it, they appreciate it, and then they're going to come back and give you the updates and the successes, right? Or the struggles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the struggles. That's what I love about that. The kids is it's real, right? If you come at them real, now you have them, right? And that's what I love about it. So how about that single mom that's trying to work all day, support her kids, but still wants to feel better about herself? Right. What kind of success stories do you have there? I know you've got to have.
Okay.
Right? The laundry list.
Yeah, right. You know what? Let's go with Donna Watkins. Donna Watkins was a single mom, 2 kids. And she didn't make a lot of money. She actually worked at a fast food joint. But she wanted to feel better about herself. She was eating poorly, had poor food choices. Yeah. But it just takes small changes in your life. Just teaching an adult just to shop around the outer border of the grocery store is huge because that's where all the healthy foods are. Right. And then when you start breaking things down that make common sense, like you can actually feed your family for like $5 a day and just buy the right foods. Right. So cut down the pop, drink a little bit more water. Don't like the water, put a little crystal light in it. Just small things. Go tweaking. Yeah. That just help her realize, well, if I stop eating all this, sugar and milk and stuff like that, then I won't get that lowness in my belly. I'll start losing weight. Well, if I just quit eating out and take my kids to eat fast food and quit eating at Starbucks or drinking at Starbucks, I can apply that to you, Jason, and I can come train with you. Absolutely. So we started discovering ways for her to come in and get in shape and how to exchange one habit for another. And make it affordable. Exactly. Right? And make it affordable. Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this. How important do you think your why is in anything you do? Oh, man, if you don't have a why, you're not going to go anywhere fast. Right? And it's so easy to stop. Because I want to get in shape. I want to do this, I want to do that. But if I have no why, how long is that going to last? Exactly. Right? So, is there anything else that you want to share that I didn't talk about that you want to share? I know you got some things that you'd like to share, some personal stories or something that's kind of any aha moments for you. I know we talked about my motorcycle accident back in the day. I know you had something similar. Yeah. So what happened and how that changed? Motorcycle accident. Well, it was 2001, and I was running with this group of guys on some crotch rockets, and so I'm up in Ottawa, and I'm coming down the backside, and we're going around this one decreased radius turn, and this R1 is another crotch rocket comes underneath me, hits me with this tailpipe, and my bike goes straight up. I hit the W wall, so I'm flying forward. My thighs hit the handlebars. I flip upside down, and I'm going over the mountain. The only thing that stopped me was a branch drop this big, and it hit me right between my shoulder blades, and it stopped me, and I landed in. I was knocked out at this point. So you were going? Yeah, I was going over the side, but these bushes stopped me from rolling. I just sort of hit, clocked down. So my buddy did what he used to do. He came over, took off my helmet. Are you okay? Probably shouldn't have touched me, right? And from there I was flighted out to Merino Valley because at that point I was paralyzed from the west. Couldn't even move anything. So what had happened is the impact from the tree moved my vertebrae so much it pressed against my nervous system, and I couldn't get a signal down to my lower half of the body. Wow. Yeah. And so if you haven't, I couldn't imagine just what it was like. My whole life was changed. I wasn't gonna die, but I wasn't gonna be able to work out like I used to, and I'm thinking of all these things, and just the fear of not being able to do that. Well, how long did you not have the feeling? 2 days. Yeah. 2 days of this, and then you have the doctor saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna drill into your back, cut you open, drill into your back, and screw your vertebrae in place." I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like a chiropractic, right? Wow. And so what had happened is I actually got my chiropractor to come visit with me, and he actually adjusted me in my bed 4 hours before my surgery.
Wow.
And that
Now,
was
were
like
you
the worst
feeling
thing.
anything at the time?
No, but I tell you what, that was the worst thing I ever experienced in my life. He just moved some stuff, and within like 2 minutes, I could move on my toes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, so it was like, it's totally avoidable, but you know, doctors like medicine and alternative medicine, like alternative medicine, but I just figured like, I'm gonna risk this opportunity to do it.
Absolutely.
And it took me all of 4 days to start walking again because it was just like the signal wasn't strong enough. But that was a life changing thing.
Did you still have to go through surgery?
No.
Oh.
I avoided surgery altogether.
Wow.
So what's different is that my upper back is a little hypermobile, so when I squat too heavy, it just lays me out for the day. So that being said, that's fine. But what I learned during that time, guys, was that you know, life can be taken from you, or any aspect of your life can be taken from you like that. And it's, you got to appreciate where you are and who you are at this point. If you don't take care of yourself, you don't take care of your body, and you don't honestly put your best foot forward, it's like you're missing the whole point. You know,
Being here.
You got to do your best, and you know, even if it's just doing better than what you did yesterday, that's the whole point. Better yourself every single day. You know, just lay a little brick of life down to build that wall, so you can see what you've accomplished. You know, day in and day out.
So that was a life-changing, altering experience.
It just changed me. It just gave me a new gratitude for where I was in life, and you know, I realized I wasn't invincible anymore. I think I was 30 at the time. You know, I realized, okay, Superman can bleed.
Right.
I got it. All right, I'm going to change my whole aspect, and you know, but it really helped me understand how I can help others, and it gave me that insight of what it's like not to be able to do something when you're fully capable just days before.
No, mentally, right? Mindset. I know you still ride.
Right.
How did that affect you when you got back on the bike?
Well, I had to conquer that turn, so I borrowed everybody's bike and did it. But I did.
So you went back.
I had to go back because I was fearful to ride for a little bit.
Right? Yeah, that's only natural. That's a great thing. So you went, right?
Yeah.
I'm the fear barrier guy. You went and conquered that fear.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How did that make you feel?
It was funny because once I did it, and I was at a high rate of speed. I came around that turn hot, went all the way down the mountain. I got off that bike, gave it to him, jumped to my car, went and bought a Harley. Yeah. Went and bought a Harley. I was done with crotch rockets at that point.
But you had to conquer that.
Yeah, I had to. I wouldn't have been right in the mind if I would have never done that.
Okay.
But yeah, I still ride. I still got a Harley. I ride a Goldwing. You know, I just love being on two wheels.
Right.
Nothing like that. I just manage the amount of crazy I am on bikes now. Like these days, I'm more defensive rider, whereas before I was like offensive. But it's just understanding the value and the importance of your life and what impact you have on other people when you ride there.
And it's called wisdom.
Absolutely.
Right over the years.
Yep.
It's called wisdom. If we survive, it's called wisdom.
Yep.
It's called wisdom. I mean, because it was a huge life-changing experience for me about 15, 17 years ago as well. But it helped me break through major fear barriers like yourself. And you know, it's either going to make you or break you. And it all comes down to your character, your why, how bad you want it, what's that reasoning. You know, again, same recipe, different ingredients. So before we jump off, anything you want to share?
Yeah. You know, guys, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to health, it's like anybody can train anybody. It's just who you're more comfortable with. And going off the why factor, you got to know why you want to work out. If it's just to be pretty, you're missing the point. Find a why. Why does it feel good in here to exercise? What is it doing for you personally? What is it allowing you to give back to others? You know, my son loves to help the elderly. He just loves to help. He likes to be strong to help him out of the wheelchair. That's his thing. But he also likes to look good in the process of doing it, so it's like a win-win situation. But for him, it's so he can be strong enough to help other people. His grandparents are getting old, so he wants to be ready for them. And I commend him. But find your why. Once you discover that,
You'll be all right. Good. Now, before we jump off, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As you know, the Monster Motivator TV, we're a mobile live stream TV show that's going to come to you, highlight business owners, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, people that make a difference in your community. Let us help get your name, your brand, your whatever it is that you're doing, your purpose out there in the Southern California area. We'd love to come out. So please let us know if you know anybody or even yourself. Get on our online calendar and let's get you on the books I know I was back and forth with Jason because of his scheduling. We finally got him on the books. We finally got him committed, and I knew he was going to bring a ton of value. And I always say this, our body is our vehicle to get us through this lifetime. Right. So the better we take care of it, the smoother the ride. Absolutely. So make sure that you stay away from that 4-letter word, diet. That's no good. It's all about the lifestyle change. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep making it happen.